social geek. So you can imagine me like more a mixture between Harry Potter and a hamster. So when I was like 10 or 9, even if the phone rang at home, if I just picked up the phone, I'd blush. So I don't even have to talk to anyone or see anyone to blush, to feel insecure about myself, not to know how to deal with a person that's saying hello in front of me if he was older than I am or a stranger. Now, that all changed when I started being involved in student activities at my school, which is also known as Shweifat School, or Sabas, for those who know it. Now, at age 11, I joined something they call Student Life Organization. Now, the Student Life Organization, or the SLO, was a student-led student affairs kind of organization. So it's something like the student affairs you typically see in a university or a school, but the difference about it is that it's all run by students. There's just one coordinator and hundreds of students running it. So the first step was starting to actually be part of this network was a big step for me. It's a challenge to leap into being part of a group, because I preferred being alone. I preferred not to talk to people. I preferred to go onto my computer and hoover the Encarta 97. Anyone remember that? So for me it was like this source of joy, getting to know the world through the safety of my screen. So actually to go there and interact with people was a challenge for me. But I said I want to do that. I want to start moving outside my comfort zone. So that's when I started volunteering in that organization, doing small tasks, small activities, helping out in small things throughout the school. But year after year, I started growing in that organization. I started being part of the management team of that organization. I started creating new departments within that organization. And at some point, people didn't realize who I am afterwards. So before I was in brevet, for those who know the brevet system, I used to have big, thick eyeglasses, the hair that's like with a very skinny body. After brevet and second, I started taking care of myself. I started loving who I am, because I felt like I can interact with people. I can learn how to work and engage and do things, that I can be successful beyond the safety of my computer. I can actually work with people and see that I can achieve, I can do, I can learn. People will enjoy talking to me because of what I have in here, not just because of how I look. So people weren't afraid, or they didn't have any biases about me because of how I look, but rather because of who I am and what I've achieved so far in my activities in that school. So bit by bit, I started changing the perception of me when I look in the mirror. So when I looked at the mirror, it wasn't the same guy at age 11 or at age 16 or 17. It was a whole different person. I was looking at the mirror and I looked at that person and said, I love who you became. Whereas beforehand, I was like, I've seen you before. You look like that guy I see in a movie, or you look like that person I saw in an encyclopedia. But I didn't really connect with this person I saw in the mirror. But year after year, I became more and more engaged, more and more connected with who I am truly. But more important, I became more connected with the community I'm part of. I became more aware of how my interaction, how my actions, how my involvement in the community can not only grow who I am, grow the people around me, but also leave an impact into the coming future, or the coming generations to come. And so that seed that I've planted in myself and that my school gave me the opportunity to utilize grew further into becoming, in the university, one of the most active individuals I've met myself. At the first semester in the university, I joined something called the Computer Science Society. I joined the first part-time job at university. The second semester, I had the second part-time job. I was already co-founding an NGO. I was aboard on another club. Bit by bit, I became more and more involved into student activities, into community work, into starting NGOs, into workshops and trainings. And suddenly, from a shy person into a speaker right here, talking in front of hundreds of people and tens of people around here. And not only that, but today, that kind of seed that was planted in me at age 11 of trying to volunteer and help the community became so contagious that till this moment, I can't stop volunteering. It's like an addiction now. It's a passion for me to volunteer, to help, to get involved with the community. And this doesn't happen just like that. It happens with support. It happens with engagement of the community. It happens with having a good environment that welcomes such type of activities. And so my recommendation, my kind of suggestion of change, it's not a major change. It's just about getting people, supporting the youth to volunteer, to get engaged into extracurricular activities. Because the smallest activity they can do at school can be a life-changing experience to make them more engaged citizens, to make them more engaged activists, more professionals that can deal with people, can interact, can learn, can do better, and at the same time be socially aware. Because today's leaders are tomorrow's also leaders. So the youth today need not only to be a good businessman, but a good social businessman, good social entrepreneurs, good professionals, but also have a good social cause that they can work for, they can support. And so it's not just about having good business skills or good academic background or a degree. It's about this holistic being, this full person that is not only engaged in the education, but also in how to serve the community, how to interact with others, having good emotional intelligence, social intelligence, and whatnot. So this is my story, and this is what made me today. Started at age of 11 in volunteering. Thank you.